Hey there, welcome back to the Ori Rando Tournament. We've got a late night match for you coming up right now as we speak. My name is Shed on commentary. I'm joined by Aiko. How are you?
I am great. I'm really excited for what we have here, which is an excellent grudge match. This is a rematch from last night. It is Vulajin versus the Randomizer, Part 2. Last night, Vulajin scored a crushing defeat at the hands of one of the most unbelievable things I've ever seen. And tonight he is back. He brought a friend with Fant. He is going to see if he can bully the Randomizer like it bullied him. Oh, and also he is racing versus the Fellows. Can you tell us about the Fellows, Shin?
Yes, of course. This is going to be a doubles race between Team Fantagen and Vulajin and Fant and the Fellows of Cleanfel and Kirefel. We have the Team Fellows in particular is kind of an interesting one. They're both members have been around for quite some time. Clean competed in the All Skills tournament. Kirefel, I believe, did as well. I'm not sure on that one actually, but they've both been around for a while, been playing Rando for a while, and have teamed up to fight in this tournament. And their opponents, Fantagen, are quite the formidable ones.
Yeah, they are two very good players. They are also have the advantage of, I believe, playing from the same place, which is very powerful. You get to just, when you're playing next to your rando partner, you don't have to tell them to, hey, look at my stream. You can just literally point and be like, yeah, I found this right here. You can also go for advanced strats, like when one person's finished, the other person can coach them. Not that I expect Vulajin or Fant will need to be doing a lot of coaching for the other player.
Of course, the Fellows are quite literally the opposite of that. They are separated by an entire ocean.
An entire ocean? That's a lot of water. Speaking of water, Cleanfel wants clean water.
He sure does. That's his favorite pickup. We'll see if they manage to get that early on here as we start the race. Off they go.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of progression we see. In double seeds, it's nice to see progression that lets the runners split, but it's also sometimes kind of funny to see progression that just requires a very linear path, and we're just looking at 4 screens doing the exact same thing for 5, 10, maybe even 20, 25 minutes if things are incredibly ridiculously starved. Ooh. And never mind, they can. In fact, one of them could just go into BRB right now. It wouldn't be.
I doubt we're going to see that. A lot of teams tend to all check the 4 pickups regardless of what they find.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw one person on one or even both of these teams to head into BRB after the second pickup, but going there without sign.
I wouldn't be surprised to see that, but I don't actually expect them to, admittedly. We've seen a common trend with the teams in this tournament is to always get the first 4 regardless. But we'll see what happens. You never know. Someone might try something new.
Someone might try something. I think I have seen 1, maybe 2 games where we've seen a signless BRB, but yeah. Not signless, sorry. That was a mistake. I meant without going to the 4 pickups, but now we will see. We got that second pickup. It is a map stone. So it might be the case that there aren't 2 keystones over to the left and everyone's going to have to go into BRB. And Kirefel looked like he was going to make that play, but he changed his mind at the last second.
You know, the map stone makes me think that perhaps this rando seed is going to give them a teleporter soon, actually. That could be kind of fun.
It could be a lot of things, and it could just be a map stone that's just there, right?
Always possible, yes.
Yeah. I feel like
random for a reason.
Yeah.
And just some XP, which means all 4 runners are going to be headed into Black Ruby. That is the only path available to them.
We'll see what they find in Fake Flippers. It's a Gumon Seal Shard. Exciting.
All right. Good. Maybe they'll need that. Maybe they won't. They probably won't.
They probably won't. But can we stop and think for a second about what kind of monster took a beautiful sea creature that was owned by the Gumon and cut it up into 5 pieces? That's just the worst.
Good, I say.
You don't like seals? They're so cute.
Meanwhile,
yeah, we've got
mostly. They're all performing a cutscene skip here on the entry here to Blackroot. We'll be heading down. This is kind of a slow area, admittedly. But it's always going to be slow. It's rare that you get to speed this area up. It takes a very specific set of skills that you very often do not have early.
Yeah, I was memeing a bit about like a very linear start, and we'll see the same thing on all 4 screens for the first like 5 minutes. But that's sort of exactly what we have. Ooh, that is a really annoying death from Vulajin. That's going to cost them a few, probably like 30 seconds. It's not the worst,
Something
but
like that.
hurts.
It still doesn't feel great.
It really doesn't. Cleanfel, however, is going to be incredibly happy about that clean water that he found. And this is
going to show us a bunch of times.
So many times. We'll see if any of these runners are going to Alt-R and take a swim after grabbing that, but it looks like none of them are for now. And interesting that we've got a bit of a divergence here in that Kirefel doesn't want to take the long jump across the main room in Blackroot Burrow, so he's just going to do the laser section instead.
We're going to see Vulajin on top left of your screen. Instead of going back into BRB with that clean water pickup, he's going to come over here and check the one pickup that's available now.
Yeah, this will be really interesting because it'll be a while before the fellows get information on this. And Vulajin rescues that seal, or fifth of a seal. And he is going to find... All right. Well, that's great because with 4 health, you can check this pickup in the early game known as fake flippers. Oh, wait. All right, we've got the grotto
always nice. That's some nice safety, but it's not quite the progression that these teams are going to be looking for yet. And yeah, we found a teleporter.
Yeah, the grotto teleporter, like you said, is a place where they can go and put in a map stone. With wall jump, they can check some of the other stuff around there, but I wouldn't be surprised to see the runners put it off for a bit, if at all possible. Because there's a lot of pickups down in Grotto that you can't check without either
I will say that just that teleporter and no abilities plus a map stone is enough to go down and check that map. It is potentially possible that progression is at that spot.
Yeah, but because map stones are progressive, they can turn that map stone in elsewhere. So that is the map stone, or if that's the progression spot, they could just do the sequence break into lower BRB, which we might be seeing soon. Not lower BRB proper, but the teleporter area. And in that case, they will be able to turn in a map stone at the same time. And we're seeing our first keystone from behind the crushers. That's out of logic, but I suspect that they will not care too much about where they got their keystones if they want to head left.
Yes, of course. This is doubles. You tend to want to split up more than you want to follow the logic. So if we find a second keystone, even out of sequence, I would not be shocked to see runners use that to break into glades earlier than the seed expects. We saw an energy cell from the main room AC. The runners will probably want to keep that. More energy is always nice as a resource. And of course, you want to try and hit 4 as soon as possible for a couple of pickups throughout the world.
Yep, and we've seen Fant and Cleanfel both deciding to keep that energy. Fant is going to, I think he's going to go grab that Hell Cell too.
That's possible. Seems to be where he's headed. And of course, having that Gumun Seal Shard already is not the worst thing in the world. If you find another 2, then like that's forlorn access, and it might be important. It might not. It probably won't be, but it might be. They might want to just have that for now. Although they did have the knowledge of its location, so if they thought that's where they needed to go, they could have gotten it later. But having it now is not a bad decision either.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're grabbing that health cell anyways, there's really no reason not to take it. All right, so we've got some people in the boulder escape area. The fellows appear to have arrived first. What we saw down there was a map stone that was in logic, and that keystone was out of logic.
We, of course, also now know that with the pickups that have been collected, the intended progression of the seed is from the Grotto teleporter. It's somewhere around here. And Fant is the first one to head over there. See if he can find anything important.
Yeah, this is interesting. Because they have 2 energy, some things are in logic that people might not want to be, like climbing up this glide vault with just double wall jump is in logic. Fant is going to skip that on account of it being terrible, which is a technical term. Fant opting not to script, or not really opting, but forced by way of not having energy to not skip that cutscene, and will instead turn this in. The mapstone turned in not progression, it was instead 5 experience.
So there's a couple options now for where progression could be. There's a couple spots here in Grotto, where Fant, in Gumo's hideout specifically, where Fant is. And there's also the option of heading up from the teleporter with just wall jump. There's a couple pickups there. Oh, but we find Dash at the mapstone in Gumo's hideout. That is very nice.
Dash is in fact a great pickup. It's going to be great for Fantagen to have that logic. It doesn't actually unlock anything that we haven't already seen, which is pretty funny. The things that Dash mostly unlocks are the stuff. At this point in the game, all of it is easily sequence breakable. It's the jumping over the crushers and the running away from the boulder, both of which we skipped. But now we're going to see another keystone pickup from Fant, and Vulajin, who's also acquired 2 keystones, is going to be heading into left glades, as is Kirefel.
Perhaps the most important thing that Dash unlocks here is the possibility of something to be on map 2, which we see from Kirefel in the bottom right is just a keystone, but Dash gave them access to that bottom right boulder area in Blackroot. Ooh,
yeah, and actually,
I want to point out real quick here that Clean has headed up from the Grotto Teleporter into the Swamp Loop area.
Oh, this is interesting. There are definitely this is what I like this play from Clean because this is him checking an area that is not out of logic as much as it is obnoxious and difficult to get to, and so it's going to be a while probably before Fantagen checks this. And so if you're going into a race against an angry Vulajin, you want to go places where he's not going to be for a while in hopes of catching an edge. Unfortunately, the kinds of pickups that would give you that kind of edge, stuff like Dash, we know where Dash is. There are other things that would be very useful, but
so Clean, having checked all of the things in logic in that area, is deciding to altar. He found nothing, which means that Dash is actually probably the intended progression to get you keystones to head into glades, I believe, is what is supposed to happen here in this seed. Got a third mapstone for Vulajin, top left.
Yeah.
Be able to put that in soon enough.
And we've got on the bottom right, Kirefel is heading down to the wall jump tree, and we'll see what he finds here. Additionally, Fant has gone back and skipped that cutscene. He was able to pick up another health cell and a mapstone from the drop point, but hasn't found anything else. Meanwhile, Cleanfel is now headed to the glide boat, and we'll see if he decides to take that miserable trek up the left wall with just wall jump. Looks like he's gonna, so good luck with that. Yeah, these walls are just incredibly slippery. You gotta dodge all of those shots. Oof,
At least
okay,
the water
falls.
isn't deadly.
Yeah. Love to see him save, because those spikes, if he hits them, I think they either deal 2 or 3 damage. He has less than 3 health, which means that if he gets hit by those spikes even once... Yeah, he's still in insta-kill range for the spikes, though, and these walls are slippery and the shots can knock you off. And oh, he gets it, makes it up. Now just don't slip, and he gets up, right, and he finds 70 experience!
Yay!
Oh. Hey, it was enough experience to level up, and that refills his health and energy and lets him make this, yeah, cutscene skip, and he breaks the bridge successfully, gets up and over, finds an ability cell, and we know he will find a health cell here for his troubles.
Alright, Kirefel in the bottom right is heading into Spirit Caverns. I don't believe we've seen this area yet. There could be something important here. That's a third energy cell, is always good.
Yeah, that puts them 1 energy from 4. 1 away from 4, which will be very sweet. But it might take a bit for that 4th one to come up, but we'll have to see. And with all of these keystones that Kirefel is finding, yeah, that actually puts 6 on the map total. But I think what we're going to see is progression where this 4 keystone door gets opened, and hearing from the track that Fant in the top right killed his Frankie at Blackroot, so he better hope that they find Stomp or charge jump and climb, because otherwise he is going to be in a bad place.
Yes, of course, that Frankie being used for a sequence break if you don't find Stomp or climb charge jump to get to the grenade tree, which they have to visit at some point. That and the Frankie, if you kill the Frankie and then save, he doesn't come back. So Fant does not have that option available to him anymore, which is unfortunate. Fantagen is going to have to find one of those 2 sets of skills.
Yeah, that Frankie actually existing and not dying is really a fun little quirk of the boulder escape sequence break that we do. That Frankie's purpose in like a casual playthrough is just to die to the boulder and It's sort of like a little scripted death, and that's why he doesn't respawn. But
Cleanfel finally finds Dash now in the bottom left for his team. I would suspect that Kyre is going to head down there pretty soon as well to collect that. It's very, very fast pickup, and he'll want that as soon as possible.
Yeah, but first he's going to get his check-in on the Charge Flame tree, and we're probably all going to want to watch this because I think this is one of the areas that we're seeing that no one's checked yet. And
correct. I believe that's the only new area we're seeing at the moment.
Yep.
And we'll see if anything's important.
I suspect it might have to be. We're running out of places that our runners can't check in logic. Ooh,
I think you'd want to see something like a blue wall breakage, probably.
How would you feel about a Gumon seal instead?
Not so much, that one, actually.
I mean, but we've got two of them. Unfortunately, because Kirefel did it this specific way, he's got a bit of a problem. Yeah, he is stuck there, and there's a little trick you can do to deload that wall while the cutscene's playing, but it requires doing a save anywhere, and
Kirefel is especially well known.
Yeah, I didn't know about it until incredibly recently, and I think that is true for a lot of people. I think almost all of us learned it when Hydra just like pulled it out, or is it Matt?
You all should watch the reverse event order runs because we do it. But anyway, regardless, back to Rando.
Back to Rando. Now Vulajin is going to be checking his area, and we'll see if he goes down and grabs the EXP first.
Theoretically should.
Yeah. I would be surprised to see him not. Some nice dash glides from him. As Kirefel is actually grabbing the Grotto teleporter, which he didn't have before. He needs that to go get his bash.
Okay, yes. Vulajin checked that XP, and it turned out to be Charge Flame. That is blue wall and plant breakage, which opens up a lot of new areas and a lot of pickups.
Yeah, including a 4th energy cell from the plant as he busts it open. That puts the Death Gauntlet in logic, but Death Gauntlet actually was already in logic. It just gives them easier access. There are a couple other 4 energy doors, including the one near where he is in the Spider Sack area, but he only has 3 energy, so Vulajin's not going to be able to check that.
Looks like Vulajin is opting to head backwards towards Valley Entry, the commonly known to be sort of a hefty progression spot sometimes, except when it's not.
Yeah, I think you can say that about a lot of places, and that's great for finding progression, except for when you don't find progression there. But you know what? I agree with that. That is like a true statement, and I will stand by it. This is nice. We're seeing Vulajin break this plant through the wall and finds Wind Restored. So that is pretty nice.
It's not useful yet, of course. It's only useful once you actually have the feather, the glide skill. We don't have that yet, but maybe we'll find it soon, in which case Wind Restored becomes very useful.
Yeah, it's pretty, you know? I feel like that's important.
Not as pretty as Clean Water, but they already have that.
Yeah, they do. In fact, we have...
If they find Warmth returned, then we'll have actually restored Nibel.
Yeah, just not in a way that, like, is irrelevant to play. Alright, so we've got Kirefel killing the mini-boss with just Spirit Flame. This is tedious, but in logic, so it is a good thing to have him check. Given that the fellows seem a little unsure where to go next. Unfortunately, because Kirefel skipped the that experience where we saw Vulajin, oh my god, he just found Bash.
Whoa, hello.
That's a big deal. He does it with a dash glide that is kind of one of the more difficult things in the standard logic because...
Yeah, it is in logic though, which is the thing. It's very difficult, but of course if you level up to air dash, it's basically trivial.
Yeah, but grabbing that pickup means that he's going to have Bash, which definitely opens up a lot of mobility options, and will give him access to a couple things. Oh, and Vulajin does get this because he does the stuck energy glitch, where you leave an energy. You can leave an energy in those 4 energy doors by putting it in the frame you walk away. That's what he does. All he finds is experience, though. But another mapstone for his troubles.
It definitely looks like Fantajin on the top is taking an early lead in this race. They are up 2 skills now on the bottom team and a couple of tree visits. So things are looking good, pretty good for them in the early game, but we still have not found a single one of the essential Water Vein or Sunstone shards yet for anyone.
Yeah, and outside of Bash, we also don't have any verticality. This is Vulajin's trying to decide on whether or not he wants to head up to the pickups above him. He just decides. Okay, he decides to do it
first.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice rocket jump.
Yeah.
Oh.
And no aerial verticality. Take two
nice.
And grabs it. All right. Finds experience, and we will see if he decides to head up to the other pickup above him using Bash, and he does. Nice. Some sweet little double bashing. We'll get info on what this pick is, and it is a keystone. So that's
all right. Cleanfel has found a charge flame for his team. Kirefel perhaps a little bit disappointed that he forgot to check it earlier, or forgot that he couldn't get out of the charge flame tree to check it earlier. But they now have it, and will be able to find progression soon enough, hopefully. We'll see if Clean also picks up Bash now.
Yeah, that'll be good to watch. In our top left screen, we just saw Vulajin turn in Mapstone 3, and he found Stomp. Unfortunately, because of where he found it, he also found Kuro yelling at him. I said Mapstone 3, I lied, it was Mapstone 4. Counting is hard. But yeah, Fan also has that. Also gets, yeah, look at all these verbs.
Ooh, there's our first important shard, Sunstone shard, at the Iceless XP.
Yeah, that is nice to have. We're going to want 2 more of those, if at all possible.
And there's a Water Vein shard as well, just above. Nice.
Also going to want 3 of those. But yeah, we've got 1 shard of each. Definitely a lot turning out nice for our runners in this area. Vulajin is...
And the Valley Teleporter. Wow, this is just a stacked area right here.
Yeah, wow. All of these pickups have already been relevant. Vulajin murders the frog in a strange place, and it looks like he's going to be heading up to grab that Valley Teleporter. But first he's going to head in to the Horror Field to check this health cell, because he has Stomp. He doesn't have to do the redirect or anything.
And on the top right of your screen is also checking a rather uncommonly checked pickup we call the Butter Cell, and it is another Water Vein shard. Nice.
Ooh, that could be really big if there aren't 2 more easily available Water Vein shards. The Butter Cell is not often checked in the first pass of an area, but it was in logic right away, so it is really cool to see Team Fantagen grabbing this. They did say before the match that they were not interested in getting Grandoed if at all possible, so they were going to be a lot more thorough. Yeah, and they're checking a lot of things, and Fant sort of stands there and gets hit by a shot, but that's fine.
Perhaps pausing, we like to point out that when you see a runner pause like that, it might be because they are writing something down for their team to remember later. I don't know exactly what it was, perhaps discussing with his teammate what the options for them to do at the moment are.
Yeah, I mean, he was just coming out of cutscene. That's like about the time you want to be talking to your teammate. Like, it's just a second. Nobody cares.
Cleanfel is also in this area with Bula, and Fant has picked up the Water Vein shard that they found earlier.
Right, and Fant is sequence breaking into, well, not sequence breaking. He is taking an unusual path into the Death Gauntlet Roof. However,
an in-logic path.
Yeah, an unusual but in-logic path into the Death Gauntlet Roof. And he has found experience, and literally only experience. Does not have enough energy to open the 4 energy door in the water, unfortunately. But he's going to be able to check everything else in here, and that's pretty good.
Vulajin has headed up to the top right side of the map, around what we call the Swamp Loop. Kirefel coming in the bottom of the Swamp Loop. We might see a high 5 from then soon enough.
Yeah, and this is interesting. It's the area. Fellows got information on this area before, but they didn't have. Fellows still don't have Stomp, but they didn't have charge flames, so now they can check.
Have Fellows not found Bash yet either? That's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. However, if they didn't have air dash levels, that is a really hard dash glide to go for. So that might have been what happened. But no, that is definitely a major case of the unluckies for Fellows. And as they do their Signless, Bashless, Stompless, Light impression, they are going to be a little displeased to learn, perhaps later, that their opponents were not doing the same.
If SBS is if you're doing Signless Bashes Slompless but have sign, is it just BS?
It is in fact just BS. I was actually trying to go for like Signless Bashless Stompless Signful, but I sort of ran out of like momentum halfway through. All right, so there we have Vantagen checking the far left EXP, and it's 18 EXP in the Moon Grotto. He's doing a Moon Grotto revisit, but he actually saved on the left side of this moving vertical pillar puzzle thing. Do we have a name for these? They're not crushers. They're not like walls. I mean, they're kind of walls.
Moving bird ceiling pillars.
Yeah.
All right, oh, hold on. Vulajin just did a sequence break from all skills into the swamp area we call swamp entry. He's not supposed to be in this area yet, but it is a nice check for him to get the swamp tree. Of course, is always important. They need to collect every tree before they can finish the game and check a bunch of pickups.
Yeah, and then his teammate over on the right, Fant, grabbed, is in his lower grotto clear, and in that water, he found the Sorrow Teleporter, which is a big deal.
It certainly is. That is easy access to the charge jump tree.
Yep. And if they don't find Glide, they will be very happy to have that. Fant is over here. He's going to break this plant. One nice thing that we haven't actually touched on is because they found explosion power upgrade so early, all their charge flames are actually free, which is an excellent price to be paying, and that is a full Gumon Seal Shard. Hooray.
Joyous day.
Yeah. They could actually go to Forlorn. They have Bash, Stomp. Like, there's nothing stopping them besides like their own good decision making. And who knows how long that'll hold up. Right?
Alright, Vulajin has done the long swimming sections here. He's got one more pickup to check, and it's nothing, so he's just going to reload and go back up to the top, and then head right towards the Stomp tree. Meanwhile, Fant on the top right has headed to Valley already, heading to the left side for his team.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to go around here, check all the pickups in the Stompless loop, and then bop Kuro and check some of the stuff in Valley Main. Whether or not he actually makes the Forlorn play, probably unlikely, but you know, we could see it. But first he's going to check the stuff in the Stompless area.
Yeah, on his way up, of course. Team Fellows on the bottom is clearing out the Grotto and Gummo's hideout areas that we saw checked from Vantagen earlier on.
Yeah, Vulajin just finishes performing a very difficult double bash chain. Now he's got to do it again because with these skills he doesn't have any verticality to get up there besides doing this. To check this pickup that's supposed to be charge jump only. This double bash chain is very difficult, not just because it's long, because that shot has like they arc downwards.
It doesn't like to cooperate, basically.
Yeah, it's no good, very bad shot. It's no good. But he does it. He gets it twice. Only like drops it once in between, which is pretty impressive. And for his effort, he is rewarded with a keystone, which is probably not the reward he was actually looking for.
You get the reward of checking it off of your mental list.
Yeah, that part is also. So one thing we haven't seen, well, two things we haven't seen. One we're about to see is this underwater 4 energy door into Hell Cell. But one thing we haven't seen yet, I don't think from any runners, or more likely, from no runner when I was looking at them, is the Frankiwaki XP, which is in logic with that Bash Lure.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen anyone do that yet.
Yep.
They're probably hoping at this point there's a lot open to them that they can go. They're probably hoping to find another skill to make that pickup very fast to check some sort of verticality. Ooh, we find a third water vein shard for Fant in the top right at Kuro's feet in Valley main room. That is important because that's Ginso access. Although they don't have verticality, so they can get up through the second room, but it's not easy.
Yeah, they can complete Ginzo with a giant asterisk because that first room would involve two massive, obnoxious charge dash ramps. Very precise.
It's not that bad. It just takes some practice. Don't tell
Okay,
anyone.
well, you just told literally all of our viewers. But yeah, no, I will help you keep that secret. I really don't want anyone to know about this secret strategy. So let's change the subject. Cleanfel checks the 4 energy door area in lower left grotto, finds an energy cell, dives to a laser, and is all the way back at the teleporter. I hope he didn't find anything he wanted to keep because he is not keeping it.
That's pretty rough.
That's rough, buddy.
I think at this point, Fant is now heading down towards the light grenade tree and this sort of upper lower black root area. I like this from them. It's been open for a little bit now.
Yeah, it is definitely in logic. There are a couple other pickups around here in logic. They can do it easily. And honestly, I like getting the stuff that requires like a save anywhere just absolutely out of the way, because then I don't have to like keep ability points in my inventory basically indefinitely.
That is certainly of value. I also saw the last remnants of a Kuro cutscene in the bottom right of my screen, which means that the fellows have now found Stomp.
Yep, and their first water vein shard. Remember that their second, the other 2 water vein shards we found were in sort of out of the way locations. One was at that butter cell. Oh wow, which
hey.
Kirefel is heading to check, so they are going to have 2 of those water vein shards.
Good on them recognizing that it's in logic with Stomp and Clean Water.
Yeah, Stomp and Clean Water put a lot of things in logic that some isn't always obvious, and then also people would prefer not to be, especially if you add Grenade into the mix.
Yes.
But yeah, one thing that we don't have for the fellows yet, and is going to be a persistent problem for them, is that they don't have Bash still, and it will probably be a while before they backtrack to that area, right?
Especially since they've already checked the valley entry. There's really just nothing around that area besides the one pickup there and maybe a grenade gated one nearby, and yeah, it might be a while before we see them return.
Yeah, if they find Grenade, we might see them head back, but I think without that, it will be a while. Like, maybe until the point where it blocks their progression, and that is not a great place to be in. Alright, Fant picks up his wound restored. We've seen a lot of interesting, like, left side cleanup from both teams, actually. Now we've got the first mini-boss check for Fantogen by Vulajin. And that is Glazer, I think, is where Kirefel is.
No, that's just
no.
Death Gauntlet.
That is Death Gauntlet. I saw a 4 energy door. Wait, no, I saw lasers and I saw a switchback and a Frankie, and that could be either place, really. I think the background color is what gives it away.
Speaking of Glazer, that's in logic now, too, I believe. No, they can't get up to the thing. They can get it, but they can't get up. Oh, no, Bash puts it in logic. Never mind.
Does Bash put? I mean, like, so it's doable with Bash. I don't actually remember if Bash puts it in logic.
I am pretty sure it's in logic with Bash. We can get confirmation on that, perhaps.
Pretty sure.
Hey, speaking of, Glazer for Fant, checking it right now.
Alright, we'll see how he decides to get up there, whether or not he grabs a Frankie or takes other options. Alright, we're hearing from the Sigma himself that it is in logic with Bash. Vulajin checks.
And this is how. Or maybe not, because this Frankie is not alive.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
You need a living Frankie to make this work. Dead Frankies, not so good in terms of Bash.
Especially useful.
I mean, you can get a corpse Bash, but they have to be dead in the right spot. So yeah, Fant is gonna have to leave and come back, or grab a Frankie from below.
Oh, no.
Ooh, does not make it all the way up.
Take the other one. That one is a lot less.
No, yeah, he took the damage one. All right, he's gonna reload. Frankies.
This is fitting with Fantogen's sort of strategy that they told us beforehand of trying to check everything they can, make sure that they just find literally everything that there is to find. They're checking even the long stuff, like Glazer here.
Yeah, and in the bottom left, real quick. All right, no, we should keep the Glazer. It's an ability cell. Nice. All right, so Cleanfel was trying to get into that above Spider Sack area. We saw Vulajin and Fant already able to check. However, without Bash, his options were a precise rocket jump that did not end up panning out. So they do not have logic or info on that. We're just seeing that Bash like cost them more and more as this time goes on.
Like we said, it's probably going to be a while before they head back to where that pickup where we know Bash was above Charge Flame Tree. So isolated.
It is incredibly isolated. Unfortunate.
And the lack of Bash in particular is making left side access for the bottom team very difficult.
Yeah, I think they will probably not try that hard to go into the left side, and I am immediately proven a liar as I see Cleanfel has teleported there and teleports out. That is a feel when you remember that you have Stomp and there's an angry bird, and it will murder you. She will murder you, sorry. Apologizing to Kuro. So Kirefel is actually going to drop into this intersection area between Lower Blackroot and Lost Grove. Ooh, eats a laser because he tries to jump over it. But yeah, the 2 pickups past that laser are in logic, so it'll be nice to see what they find there. Meanwhile, we got a Misty entry, and probably a Misty completion, I would assume, from Fant.
At least halfway. He probably will continue past, but we'll definitely see him go at least halfway for sure. Get to the climb tree.
Yeah.
Seeing a bottom of valley check from Vulajin. There's a couple of pickups down here that he's able to collect.
I think Vulajin's going to go to Forlorn. He's got the entire seal.
3 Gumon. Yeah, he's got the Gumon seal. Very possible.
Definitely a thing that could happen. He is He is getting that Baleen to spawn again because there's another door past this one that you want to have it break open so you can get access to a Mapstone pedestal. He has a Mapstone to match it and finds Climb.
Okay. Not the most useful yet, but will be provided they find Charge Jump.
Yeah. I mean, it's a nice pickup. It's not great, but if you ever have to do precise wall jumps, and ooh, he takes a couple damage boosts on those spikes, stomping into them repeatedly, but he's got a lot of health. He is fine. And looks like Fant is leaving on account of Misty with single jump, no glide, kind of hard.
Not easy, yeah. It's also, the no glide part is why I suspect we haven't seen Team Fantagen head up to Sorrow yet either. They can get in, they can do some stuff, but it's hard. So they're perhaps checking in other places as well, like Forlorn.
Like Forlorn indeed. Alright, so Fant is doing some high-speed movement around spikes, sometimes colliding with them, other times not. He makes it through though, and Vulajin is going to be entering Forlorn. Cleanfel just checked. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say the same. Cleanfel just checked the dash plant, which is a one-off that they left behind earlier, and unfortunately finds nothing.
Yeah, the dash plant is one of those one-offs where you almost never can check it the first time in your Blackroot, because Blackroot is often required progression. And ooh, Fant doing some charge dashes in an area where charge dashing really sucks. There are like slimes everywhere, and you're never going to charge dash the way you want to, and instead frequently charge dash into the spikes. But he is through, and he is just going to head straight to Forlorn. Oh, this is quite the call from Team Fantagen. I really like this.
They are confident that they are going to find something like glide or double jump in here.
Yeah, I mean, Forlorn, when you look at what they have, does seem to be pretty attractive. They are sort of gambling that there are 2 more Gumon Seal shards around somewhere.
Shards? Or
no, Gumon Seal shards actually, because Forlorn doesn't go in logic. Like none of the dungeon keys count as being in logic until you have 5 of them, not 3. So
really? Interesting.
Yeah, this is what prevents dungeon keys from being in their dungeon. It's not like any hard code. It's just you have to have all 5 to enter the dungeon. So
sense.
For progression to be here, there would have to be like the next step of progression to be here. They would have to have.
This is important. Kirefel is near Bash now. He heads left to this XP that he can see on his screen. No, go back. No. Go back. No. Actually, he might be. I don't know. They have checked this area, haven't they? No, yeah, and they don't have grenades, so there's no reason for him to go back. That's unfortunate.
I think he's here for the energy door.
It was on screen.
It was unlucky. All right, Vulajin is Not actually sure what route he's going for. There are a lot of like ways you can get through Forlorn and check all the pickets. I think he's probably trying to grab a projectile to double bash, but looks like he changes his mind and is just going to do one of the vanilla approach attempts. You can just sort of fall onto that pickup if you get on that like little hemisphere below him and then just fall right. So we'll see if Bula opts for that.
Casual Forlorn is so slow.
There are things you can do, but yeah, if it's not from the teleport, yeah, okay, so Bula is going to get misaligned. He was trying to get onto the surface, but the point from where you change from horizontal to vertical on that wall isn't exactly obvious, and he finds nothing. Yeah, that falling right strat is nice. You can actually fall onto that keystone during the cutscene that plays if you come from the teleporter, which is pretty fun. Yeah, Vulajin is having the grand old time of single jump vanilla
We
Forlorn
saw
strats.
in the bottom left Cleanfel with the Sea Flame Burn strats, collecting a plant from very far away from where the plant actually is with an increased charge flame radius. Always fun.
Yeah. Alright, Vula is gonna grab this keystone. It's an energy cell, and now he's gonna get up to the teleporter part. This becomes a hub that you can check a lot of the Forlorn runes from. He can go up and grab the keystone above, and then he can do the puzzle casually, but he can also just fall upwards using that square right next to him, and there's a damage boost involved, but it's still pretty good. Or you can double bash, which is faster than the thing I was seeing.
True.
Yeah. Alright, so it looks like the fellows are a little confused about what they haven't checked. It could be progression. Cleanfel's looking at his map, saying, waving his mouse around, being like, where haven't we been?
Kirefel saw it on screen.
Yeah, he did, but he did not grab it. Alright, Forlorn might not actually be in logic, or so I'm being told by my own software indirectly, so that's a little awkward, but no worries. Alright, so we are still getting the Forlorn check, but because it is not in logic, we are not really required to find progression here, which means that actually for Fantagen, this is not
good news.
Yeah, that is actually bad news, in fact, because, oof. Without, they might not find anything in here, and because they both came here, alright, now it looks like Vulajin is leaving, which I do like, on account of staying here, seeming.
We'll probably see Fant continue to collect the teleporter at least, so that he has access to the key factory, the fastest key dupe area in the game, and of course, if they later come back and find something beyond that key door, they'll have that teleporter for easy access.
Yeah. On the bottom left screen, Clean is doing a trick that we've seen talked about a couple times that never, I mean, that's not true, but he's doing a trick where you bait a spider shot and do a charge flame redirect, and it is really hard to do without a little bit of extra verticality, because you need the shot to be very horizontal. But yeah, he actually got a like really ridiculous angled shot. That spider is spinning like, or swinging like crazy though, so that's gonna make this hard. On the right side for the fellows, we've got an attempted. Okay. I was excited because I saw a skill for Fant, but it was just climb from the map stone. No need to get excited. Interesting. I don't think we have anyone checking what looks like a new area at this point. Vula is just in Misty. I don't.
Yeah. So we saw Fant enter this area and sort of give up on it, and Vula perhaps saying, all right, I think I might be potentially better with the execution in this area than you, and let me go in and see what I can find. And he finds a Sunstone Shard for his troubles. That's 2 out of 3.
That is going to be very nice. We'll see what else he finds. Can he get this pickup? I don't think he can get it. I really don't think he can get it.
Yeah, I'm skeptical.
He could grab a frog.
Oh, no. There you go.
Yep, this is how to do it. Yeah, I like this. And you can either double bash it up or just bash it up once and rocket jump. I really like that. That is a good show of resourcefulness from Vulajin, and really important because that could have been
anything.
Charge jump.
Yeah.
Well, there are a lot of things it couldn't have been, like glide, but it could have been something like charge jump, which would have been huge. Yeah, or even the third Sunstone Shard.
Yeah.
And now they know and won't have to revisit for that. All right, so Vulajin is.
Boy.
Oh, yeah, this spot is miserable with the skill set. Ooh, that is actually a pretty long death. It's gonna have to do a bit of backtracking.
I'm unsure where progression is at this point.
That is a mood. Okay, so it can't be Horror Fields. What is in Logic that's garbage and we haven't seen them check? Oh, Clean. He got it. He got
wow, nicely done. Very difficult.
And kind of, as we know, there's not actually anything in Swamp. We'll have checked all of it.
Yeah.
Swimming,
but that is still impressive for Clean to
that is a great thing to have done.
And finally get that. That's wonderful.
Yeah. He should be proud of landing that trick. But things that remain checkable or are in Logic that they haven't checked, I am really
running dry. I don't know what it could be. I feel like they found Wind Restored in not a terrible spot. I feel like Glide might be somewhere. Where that is, I don't know.
Yeah. Me neither. So things that on the right side where they could go but haven't is what I'm trying to think of. Alright, well, we've got confirmation that Glide is in fact somewhere, so that will probably... Not playing a Glideless Seed, which is important because...
I don't know if we've seen anyone... Truck is pointing out that I don't think we've seen anyone check the cell on the way up the right side of Valley.
Oh my God.
We found it! Vula found it.
Glide.
No one checked the ability cell above the Glades health cell, and it's Glide.
That's...
Wow.
Holy... I guess no one's been back to Glades. I mean, there are a couple things actually in Glades that we haven't seen. I mentioned earlier and then completely forgot that the Frankie Walk we never found. And I think even after this cell that they're checking with Bash, I'm not sure if anyone's gone back and checked the equivalent. There are a couple double jump pickups that, double jump or Bash or other verticality pickups that are all in left Glades, and the other one is at the in Spirit Caverns. I'm not sure we've seen anyone else go back for that either.
So Glide is important in one particular way in that it puts a bunch of things actually in Sorrow in Logic, and we're actually seeing Vulajin head up to the top of Sorrow with the Sorrow teleporter, and Fant come up from the bottom, sort of attacking it from two angles. I like that. That is a good strategy for them. But perhaps more importantly, it's not quite the verticality that they need to do Ginso at this point.
Yeah, there is no wind in Ginso. It's kind of hilarious if there was. Look, there's weird wind in some weird places in this game. I don't think like inside of a tree disqualifies it at all. Like there are like carved out rock channels that are on the way to like the Forlorn approach. There's wind there. Like what is that even doing there? Nobody knows. Nibel is a mysterious place. But yeah, in addition to Valley, a bunch of Sorrow, the left side wind pickups are actually in Logic, and because of how limited their verticality is. Alright, go for it.
Something important here is that Clean in the bottom left is doing that Frankie Walk you mentioned. He can get to it with a rocket jump, actually, so we're going to see that checked for you coming right up soon. But continue. Yeah.
Unless he's very unlucky and the rocket jump hits the frog instead of rocket jumping. That's always an incredible... Okay, he gets up and... Oh. Well, unlike Bash, it doesn't damage the frog, so unless he runs out of energy... Okay, he gets it, and it's experience. This is really unfortunate. They could actually rocket jump up to where Glide is, now that I think about it.
There's
charge jump. Ooh, that
is full go mode, I believe. Charge jump gives them access to everything that they are missing.
It does, in fact, do that. And because they have charge jump, they can... Yeah, they have a full Sunstone. They have a full Water Vein. I'm not actually sure where they got the third...
I believe it was also left Sorrow for Fant. where they found
All
that
right,
Sunstone Shard. So that is...
Vulajin. Ooh, Vulajin takes a death and has to go all the way from the charge jump tree back down to... Oh my god, double jump was in the...
Oh my gosh!
Oh.
This is...
Wow.
That's brutal. Those skill locations, that's
right.
just brutal.
So to recap, Team Fantagen finds Glide. This gets them into Sorrow. In Sorrow, they find Charge Jump, the last Sunstone Shard they needed, and Double Jump, putting them in an incredibly comfortable go mode. They also found an extra Water Vein Shard.
Alright, Kirefel and Cleanfel, the fellows, both now have Bash. They found that, finally. But, they still have a ways to go. They're gonna need to find Glide, which appears to, at least, be getting both Double Jump and Charge Jump. Wow.
Yeah, no, I think Glide and Sorrow Teleporter is what... Well, I guess not Sorrow Teleporter because they can get the Feather Tree. But yeah, Glide is definitely gating those things, and it might be a really long time, as it was for Fantagen, before the fellows come back and check those pickups. And yeah, we're actually seeing something interesting, which is that because of how Vulajin entered Sorrow, which is to say through the teleporter, he doesn't have either charge jump or double jump. And I think he's going to want to go back for one of those because he's not going to want to do the dash ramp we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
So we'll see him rocket jump up off of one of these Frankies, but not the lower Frankie. We don't like that Frankie. Yeah, and he's gonna make his way up and glide into Sorrow and grab charge.
Kirefel is headed into the right side, but of course hasn't found Glide yet, so there's not a whole lot he's going to be able to check at the moment. Clean is having to recollect Bash by the looks of it. I don't know why that is.
I think we're hearing from the trek that he might have rekindled an old save, and I saw him teleport to Valley before that. So what might have happened is he might have tried to do the Death Plane skip, and if you do that wrong, you offlock your seed, and I like to call it infinite bird death. Oh my gosh,
hold on. Vulajin, what are you doing?
He killed the frog.
He went back to the Valley teleporter. He killed a frog, did not have access to this charge jump location, was trying to do a long double bash chain there on one of those hard-to-use mortar shots.
Yeah, through lasers.
Went down to Valley. That is unfortunate.
Oop. Yeah, he might be finding this frustrating internally, but okay, so he has changed his mind. He's just going to go grab double jump instead, because that is...
Yeah, much better.
Easier to get, definitely. Might be a bit of a feels bad moment for him, but given where they are in the seed, I do not think it will cause Team Fantagen any issues. Oh, interesting. I think he's going... Is he going to go back and grab charge jump just to be absolutely sure that he can...
Looks like.
Yeah. Looks like it. Alright, now Cleanfel is taking the Sorrow teleporter into charge jump tree, but because he's coming from the teleporter, again, he's going to have that issue where...
Vula had to go back down there. That's where the Sunstone Shard was that he was missing.
Oh, okay. That's important, yes. So it is good that he remembered that.
He didn't.
Yeah, we didn't, but lucky for him, us remembering it wasn't important.
Alright, so if I'm not mistaken...
Well, for him, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe both Fant and Vulajin are done with trees, save the Bash tree, where they are both headed at this moment. So once they both collect that, and they will be skipping every pickup on the way, they will be done with trees and headed to Horu.
Yeah, and I think at this point, and really honestly, since we found those the Fantagen found those skills in Sorrow, this was looking pretty one-sided for the fellows, unfortunately.
I would agree. Fant and Vula might be thinking that they're behind because it took them so long to find Glide in what is admittedly kind of an easy area, both to check and miss. But they might feel behind, but they are actually rather far ahead at this point.
Yeah. See, the thing about getting randoed, and I think this is definitely getting randoed.
It is getting randoed.
You don't know if you were the only one randoed, and in fact, while you might be feeling bad for being randoed if you're Fantagen, you don't know is that the fellows were randoed
randoed
yeah.
2, randoed harder.
Yes. But this was supposed to be randoed 3, rando with a vengeance, because it's Vula's vengeance story.
Well, okay. He's not getting his vengeance. He got randoed, but
he did. But he's at least going to come away the victor.
Theoretically.
Yeah. Or at least get last place.
Vula and Fant have now both collected their Bastry and are on the way to Horu and the final escape. Whereas Clean and Kyre the Fells do not have the skills necessary to be confident in doing so. We know where the skills are, they do not. And they need to go back to Glades to find Glide to get the other 2 in Sorrow.
Okay, yeah, Vulajin is teleporting to Swamp. Cleanfel is trying a really, really obnoxious sequence, which is the single jump, no dash, or single jump, no glide, no charge jump, no grenade, no fun, as I like to call it, approach.
He has bash though, like, this isn't...
He does. I don't understand why he is
not using it.
Him.
Perhaps used to not having it for so long, he,
I'm not
it's
sure...
forgetting he has it.
Does he have it though? Because oh no, he does. Okay, I don't understand anything. I think maybe he just remembered.
Like, yeah, there you go. Well, now he's
bashing. Now he's bashing.
And now he's bashing. All right, he remembered he has it now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think he just must have forgotten because he was going through that exactly as one might.
Meanwhile, Vulajin has successfully door-warped. Fant did it a little while ago. They're both in the final escape now and just need to go through this rather easy one. They are missing one skill and is not essential in any capacity. So they will be finishing up soon enough, and glad to see that they are doing so before their opponents.
Yeah. Not too much to say about this escape. Definitely going to be not very challenging for our runners.
Near trivial for runners of caliber.
And I mean, like, escapes when you're at 8 health have literally all the skills but grenade, clean water. Not usually the kind of thing we think of as tricky. Of course, there's still lots of things that just kill you, just straight up. You make a little mistake and then you just die, but we are not seeing that kind of mistake from our runners, and Fant is holding right.
Exactly. Fant is done. He's in the final cutscene bit here. His timer will be stopping soon after he holds right for a while. Vulajin kills his fish, unable to do fish strats.
Spawns Kuro.
Oh no! Okay, he's fine.
Alright, he's safe. He's safe. Everything's fine. Vulajin is unfazed by the fish being murdered from outside of range, and he is going to be holding right soon as well.
That will be a victory for Team Fantagen here, advancing to 2 and 1, while the fellows will be falling to 1 and 2. So neither team is secured for brackets nor knocked out of the tournament yet. You need 3 wins to get into brackets and 3 losses to be knocked out of brackets. So they still both have hopes here, but a little bit of an easier time for Fantagen moving forward.
Yeah, and on the other hand, that's going to put the fellows on the really puts their backs against the wall. They have to win all their remaining 2 matches to make it out of brackets. There are definitely probably going to be some scary teams in the 1 and 2 division, and will also be some in the 2 and 2. So that is going to be matches to watch for. But for now, we're going to see how the fellows are going to be able to finish up this seed as they check lots of locations that are not Spirit Caverns. By Spirit Caverns, I mean Glades.
In the meantime, Vulajin is finishing up and will end with a time of 57 flat. His teammate Fant with a time of 56:40. So their average... Yes, that one.
Yeah, math. Actually, a little... Okay, 56:50, 30 something. Okay, we're not doing those.
No. Math's impossible. Let's just not. Let's let the computer do it.
Yeah, let's let the computer do math. All right. Ooh. So
Cleanfel pulling out the difficult tricks here. He did that Seaflame redirect earlier, and he just did a double jump-less swamp entry.
Yeah, and
Nice job.
it looks like Kirefel is heading to the Ginto tree. Is he familiar with the charge dash redirect?
He has to be if he's heading there now.
I mean, you say that, but we've
Quite
seen...
realize.
Yeah, we've seen a few times in this tournament already people going to Ginto and then realizing that a mistake has been made.
Speaking of mistakes, he currently only has 1 energy, and you need... Okay, you can do them with dash ramps, but this trick that he's gonna have... He just saved. He's out of energy. I don't think he can do this anymore. It doesn't look like he realizes what needs to be done.
Yeah. This is one of those hashtag unlucky moments where the luck was not remembering that you needed the skill to do the thing. Which honestly, like, memory is honestly one of the biggest RNG things in Rando besides like actual item placement, so I respect that. We'll see how long he keeps trying this as Cleanfel heads into Valley. And Misty, it looks like? No, this is just those opening cutscenes that he watched before in an attempt to watch at the same time, but that attempt did not go through. So we'll actually probably see Cleanfel collecting the feather tree after circling around the stomp loop as Kirefel continues his attempts at this really obnoxious trick, like, we're being honest. Ooh, these rocket jumps in these like tight corridors with spikes on both sides, really precise stuff. Checks that bird stomp cell and finds only keystone, which is not the key pickup they are looking for, despite having key in its name. This game can be ironic like that sometimes.
Yeah, without having found Glide, if they don't find it, which Kyre is headed back up the wrong direction. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Without Glide, the tricks ahead of these two runners are even still quite difficult at this point.
Yeah, definitely doing this seed without Glide, given where we know the other bird is, not gonna be a good time.
Nicely done on Cleanfel's side for a fast stompless there. That was well done.
Yeah, he gets that trick and is going to be able to collect that feather tree and dispense of that dastardly death play, you might call it, if you were in an alliterative mood, which I am. Alright. Kirefel is heading back and grabbing the 4 energy door underwater, which we saw Bula check a while ago. It was a health cell. We'll see if he decides to head left and do Glade's cleanup.
Keep going up. No, Kyre.
Nope.
No.
Hashtag unlucky.
I mean, at this point, it's possible that the runners, both of them, have sort of checked Glades off completely, even though there are a couple pickups left. They might not realize that.
Well, I mean, the thing about...
It's not even something you, like, think of to go back and look for again, really.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think a lot of people have those... Oh, that is the third water vein shard. Oh, no, they actually already had full water vein.
That's Cleanfel's third water vein shard.
Yes, that is Cleanfel's third water vein shard. Alright,
While Fellows continues running their seed here, we're going to go ahead and interview the winner. So let's go ahead and drag him in.
Yes.
Hello guys, GG, congratulations.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you.
GG.
Yeah, so this was a seed. I mean, I was gonna say this was a seed for the ages, but all of the tournament seeds have been pretty terrible. What are your thoughts on this sort of just how this whole thing went?
Yeah, so really, looking back into it now that we know where everything is, like, we basically just played ourselves. I mean, both of us, you may have noticed.
Again.
Yeah, we seem to be really good at this, Vulajin, but yeah. So you may have noticed there was a time where both of us were in Forlorn at the same time. That wasn't like some weird play or anything. That was because we legitimately thought that was the only place left we hadn't checked. That was like we got halfway through, it was like, wait a minute, Sicily plant, wait a minute. And then like we in typical fashion to when this type of thing occurs, you will remember things like piecemeal one at a time. And we did that, and then we finally realized like, oh god, it's the fourth above the fourth health cell. No way is that. Oh, it is.
Yeah,
No.
I had that brief moment where so I remembered back to Charge Flame when I went to that tree. I went down because you do, and Charge Flame was down, and I was like, oh okay, so I'm gonna go up now. And then Bash was above, and the thing that didn't happen in my brain was, oh, now that I got Bash, let's go back down and let's check above fourth health because we're gonna forget it later. So I didn't get it, and I didn't say anything about it. And then Fent later was like, oh, I'm gonna go check that ability cell in Spirit Caverns, and I didn't say anything to him either, and he didn't think it. So we both, two separate occasions, had opportunities to get it, and we both just.
Yeah, so I really had like a mini heart attack the minute that we found Glide, and I had
we
like
thought
another.
We were dead.
We thought for sure we were dead. Like yeah, so and then on top of that, like taking Glide, we went into Sorrow, and then Sorrow had literally everything else. And I was like, oh man,
Yeah.
what? Oh, how are we gonna do this? We're just like, okay, just play as fast as we can. Let's finish, and then yeah.
Fortunately for you guys, the struggles you had in finding that progression was less so than the struggles we're seeing the fellows head through right now.
Yeah, I don't know how you two feel about spoilers.
I don't care super much. We're gonna watch it back afterwards, but like I don't really care.
They are,
See, the
yeah,
thing
they
about being
didn't find
randoed-
Bash.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, they didn't find what?
they didn't find Bash until after you found Glide. Or rather, until you guys, after you guys found Charge Jump and Double Jump, that was around when they found Bash. So
Okay, yeah, no, I figured, Bash being in that spot, it is kind of tricky to get there. Like, if you have air dash, but it's a difficult jump. Like, I honestly had no idea how to do that jump, so like, okay, wait a minute, I have rocket jumps. I had a rocket jump off this rocky here.
I have to point out, just like right near the end, Fant was like, they haven't finished yet. I wonder what got them. Maybe it was Bash. He literally said those words. And I was like, no, I mean, like, they probably would have had air dash by that point, which is what I used to get it, because I was like, I flubbed the the dash glide one time because it's a hard dash glide, and I was like, oh, well, I have air dash, it's fine. So surely they would have had that, and, well,
Not so much.
that's
not
so
much at all. And yeah, they also, because they didn't get Bash till much later, but they also have yet to transform that into Glide, unfortunately.
Oh man, yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, the thing about being randoed is your opponent can always be randoed harder.
Yeah. God. Oh.
2.6.9 is cursed.
I think
It really is.
Yeah, I think it's safe to announce now that yes, the randomizer itself has secured a spot in the bracket stage.
1,000 times over. Real quick check-in with the fellows here. They have now found Climb, but that's not going to be enough to really.
Hey,
help out a
this
whole
is
lot.
basically our experience, just a little bit later with the
Yeah,
Bash
just-
delayed. Yeah, it's
yeah.
like, oh hey, Climb. It's like, I remember this. This is great. It's like Will's like, Climb. Wait, that does nothing.
That was our reaction to, more or less.
Same
I got
thing
so
with
excited
Rin's
when I saw the
story.
green.
Oh God.
I mean,
And then, and then just at the end, like sitting there, like holding right, and we're both just like, "Oh my God, do not snipe us! Do not snipe us! Do not." I guess that wasn't happening.
Yeah, like
No.
after getting charge jump and double jump, I was like looking over to the SRL chat, like, oh, every 2 seconds really is like, okay, I'm gonna do a charge dash, look over, charge dash, look over. It's like they haven't finished. Like, oh man. So I got my cardio out for the day, so.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm struggling to think of questions here for you guys because the seed we sort of saw your entire thought process the whole time, and I guess my only other question would have been about Forlorn, but you already answered that for us.
I figured that would come up.
Which, by the way, if you weren't aware, with the skill set you had, Forlorn was completely out of logic.
Yeah, when I saw like the spike pit early on, I was like, can he actually get down here? Does the logic really consider this? I think like you need glide or something else to get
Double jump,
over that spike
jump.
pit.
charge jump,
Yeah.
something.
All the things that were in the well, actually, like Glide was available at that point, so it was totally in logic.
Glide.
Yeah, it wasn't logic. You shouldn't know at the time. Yeah.
Glide. Glide is actually not sufficient. It needs to be something that can get you verticality.
I see.
Grenade, C jump, or D jump. The thing is that Forlorn logic has to assume that in the worst case you've already turned in the orb without just checking
Right.
anything, because
Ah,
you're
I
just like,
see.
oh, I love throwing away keystones and watching cutscenes. I hate pickups.
Oh god.
And yeah, those pickups are orphaned without the ability to walk on walls. But soon TM, we will have multi orbs.
I do want to say, like, the one thing about our playstyle in this seed that we really wanted to do was be comprehensive, be like insanely thorough, and
Yeah, we
check
saw that.
absolutely everything. And
saw
yeah,
that
I
for
think
sure.
we did a good job of that, except for the
Except the one
pickup we
time that it
forgot.
mattered. Yeah.
Yeah, except the one time it mattered. We did a really good job of, like, we went back to Grotto, made sure we hit up the mini bus, all the other stuff down there. But yeah, oh god.
Yeah, I was meticulously taking notes, or taking notes mentally. Didn't write it down, but like on my first trip to double jump tree, I was like, okay, this, and this.
Yeah.
You got bash. Make sure you check these. Be sure to check all of these.
Yeah, when I came down, he was like giving me an itemized list of the things. So it's really good.
I guess
Yeah.
that is a question then. Sort of, is your strategy for remembering where things are just remember them, or do you have like a written list somewhere or something like
Well, so we do have a written list in front of us right now, and I could tell you exactly what we wrote down the entire time. Okay, we have the Gumon Seal, we wrote down FF. What's that?
Fake flip.
Fake flippers. Okay, we got that one. We got Water Vein. We've got Butts.
That definitely says butts. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've got the Kuro's Perch. Yeah.
What,
yeah, 'cause
what
it's
was the
definitely-
butt supposed to say?
I don't know,
Butter
that's
Cell.
your handwriting.
Water
No,
Vein,
it's
Butter Cell.
very much not my handwriting.
Buttercell?
Buttercell.
Buttercell.
Yes, the Buttercell. There you go. Yeah.
Water Vein Shard and Buttercell?
The funny thing was, Finn stopped to write that down, but we were literally in that area all at the same time. I was just gonna go there, but you wrote it down anyway. But yeah, we have this piece of paper. We have blanks on it for every skill, every teleporter, water vein shards, Gumon Steel shards, Stun shards, and if we really need it, map stones. But most of the communication is just like verbal and just like looking at each other's screens, and then just like like for like remembering individual locations like within an area, we just kind of like remember. Like we don't like make a list of all that. It would be too crazy to do.
Yeah,
that,
I find
obviously.
just even though we don't use it too much, just having the piece of paper right in front of us, it's kind of like, a little bit of like an ease or a, I don't know what the word for it is a
Placebo?
no, it's not a placebo.
It
It's
is-
just
Alright.
it's
It's
like
kind of a placebo since we never use
Yeah,
it.
we never use it.
Never-
it just makes me feel more comfortable that should the occasion arise, yes, you can go through and write it down. You're just like, oh man, I'm gonna have to remember this. Oh man, don't panic.
All right.
Yeah, we've actually used the same sheet of paper for all our matches so far. And we still have yet to write the location of a skill or a teleporter. So
That's
Oh.
extremely powerful.
Nice.
maybe we should take a picture of this after we're done. It's like, this is all of our handwriting for the entire doubles tournament.
So,
Oh,
looking ahead, then you're now 2-1. You got 2 matches left to get another win to get the brackets. How are you feeling about that?
I mean, I want to say good, but we did just like nearly rando ourselves to death. I mean, I feel like our play is where it needs to be. Execution. I feel like stuff like just forgetting a single location is just gonna happen sometimes. So it's not like you can say that we're playing badly in that regard. But yeah, we need to not do that against whoever our next opponent is and whoever then the opponent after that is. We need to not do that.
Yeah, but I think if we avoid like a situation like in this match, obviously glide being the thing, I think we have a good chance against a lot of the 2-1 teams.
All right.
So, thank you guys for joining us for an interview here while the fellows finish up. But we are going to go ahead and let you go. Congrats again on your win, and
Thank
good
you,
luck to you
guys.
for the rest.
Yep, thanks.
Yep.
See ya.
Right, so got check back in with the fellows. We've got Cleanfel has almost finished his clear of left forlorn and is going to be heading in to right forlorn.
Kirefel
And-
sort of going ahead and going around checking every one-off he can think of, even perhaps ones that Clean has checked, just to sort of double check, but unfortunately has not gone back to the one that we know they need.
Yeah, this pickup proving to be hard to remember for both teams, so Fandaging can maybe not feel as bad about missing that. Yeah, I think what we might actually be seeing is some tree cleanup. Kirefel was in sorrow for that charge jump tree. That is the name of that tree. And he is now yeah, I think we're seeing cleanup from Kirefel. He's grabbing his the shared pickups that their team still needs to get, like that sunstone shard we just saw him grab.
I'm trying to think now, if they manage to find grenades somewhere in some weird pickup that no team has checked yet, is that good enough for them? I mean, okay, well, I am also saying somewhere, but like, Clean could try and do a glideless forlorn escape here and collect the guaranteed grenade.
I don't think glideless escape is possible with no double jump, no charge jump.
I don't remember what
I'm
the
pretty sure you cannot.
Was,
I am
inclined to agree with you.
Yeah, I don't think you can get out of the first room. Like, there's nothing to rocket jump off of, and so his verticality is a single jump.
That's very true. So yeah, the escape is not an option.
Oh, this is interesting. Clean is trying to go right in forlorn, but I'm not sure. So he stomps the peg. How does he get out of here?
It's hard. I think this is it.
Okay, dash glide. That is how you would get out of here. This is definitely very tricky area, clearly not designed for single jump navigation, but he gets through it to make a save. I wonder, because like grenade could in theory be where he is checking. That is like a real thing that could happen. Spikes hurt.
Lasers. Lasers hurt more.
Lasers do hurt more than spikes, except for the spikes at Spider Sack. Those hurt the same amount, which is infinite.
True. That's not going to be sufficient, Clean.
That is not. Unlucky. Ooh. Oh. Yeah.
Lasers.
Lasers.
All right.
Come on. All right. What do we got? We got
a keystone.
Keystone and grenade. Oh my god!
Are you kidding me?
Shit.
And we're Clean is posted in SRL chat. ... Are you kidding me on that grenade location?
And I think they're just going to... They're not going to get any of the actual good skills that we know exist. Oh no.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I cannot believe this.
This is like the third time I've seen grenades, like the actual generated grenade in like right forlorn, but the first time it's actually like come up and been relevant. Like, you can get spoilers, but
oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think
I don't
so what is
know
Kirefel going to do?
I don't know what Kire's gonna do. Like, you don't want to do that. You don't have the forlorn teleporter. That is so long. But I think that's like that's the only thing they know they can do.
Yeah, I did.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, mood.
What the car's trying to decide what he's gonna do here.
Yeah,
he's deciding to color code in the main room.
That's sometimes that's all you can do. Is he gonna find glide? Is he going to find
Go, keep going. No.
I think we're gonna see him head to forlorn from the valley TP. Is he gonna do it? He's gonna do it. All right. So, Kirefel's long
trek.
Yeah, he's gotta from valley to forlorn, all the way to right forlorn, watching all those cutscenes, all with single jump, which is not easy. Like Cleanfel showed off some cool dash glides to make it more trivial, but like, if you're not comfortable with those dash glides, I could see some.
Where's Kyre going now?
Okay, this is. I don't. All right, I too am confused about this. He's going to Moon Grotto. All right.
I'm interested to see where he is deciding to go.
I never saw the fellows check the far left EXP.
I believe
So he
that
might
was
be-
checked with them.
I saw
Pretty
Fantagen check it, but I didn't see.
There's a Sunstone Shard in
Shard.
Ginso. Of
Yeah.
course there is. All right, so they are in. Yeah, that's go mode for them. They can complete the escape at this rate. Well, okay, it's go mode for Clean. Kyre still has to go get his grenade if he wants to do their team's go mode. He could also
he's
try
getting.
and-
He's getting. I don't think he got Stomp Tree. So he's doing that now. I think that's what we're seeing. So I think he wants to do his tree cleanup before this. Maybe he hopes that Clean will find something that will help him not have to suffer as much. But Clean is just going to be heading to the final escape. This is like, so in addition to all the suffering that the fellows have endured so far, this is not what I would describe as an easy or free escape. Your verticality is
run.
Yeah. This is definitely Rando claiming somewhere between 2 and 4 victims. Ooh, that laser going.
This is 4 victims straight up.
This is, yeah.
Some more brutal than others, but my goodness.
Alright. Clean has a little trouble with the grenade bash up, but he makes it. He's gonna have to do extended, just kidding, charge dash is the thing. And yeah, he will throw up some grenades. As in throw some grenades upward, not like vomit grenades.
Thanks for the clarification. Kyre has decided to do Swamp Long Swim. Has not found anything. I'm actually not sure if we saw this checked, but there's nothing.
Vula
here
checked
anyway,
it.
So. Okay.
Vula checked it in the
right,
pre-glide
I remember
era.
that now.
Yeah, it's been
They
a while.
Sure did.
It has been like 35 to 40 minutes since Vulajin has checked this.
Cleanfel going for the nicknamed Validation XP. It's extra air dash. Why is that there?
I mean,
Why
it'll
are you
help.
hiding so far away? Oh my
Because
goodness.
it has no logical requirements. It can be anywhere.
I
all
know
bonuses
that,
can.
but
Alright,
Shush.
well, sorry for answering the question you asked, like some kind of person who doesn't know what a hypothetical question is. I mean, so extra air dash there is actually really nice. He can use that in that S bend, which is otherwise going to be kind of obnoxious, like literally every room in this escape is going to be, because their movement options are so like awkwardly constrained. I think it's not going to be too bad. Yeah, so
Glide. Oh my goodness. This is going to be the hardest bit right here, I believe, is this elemental room. It's not that.
He has climb,
difficult.
right? He's not using it, but he
Yes,
could
he's not
climb.
using it, but he does have it.
Alright, so yeah, he's just gonna double bash
double
his shot.
dashes.
Decide
Kuro
he
doesn't
want.
bother you in this room, which is always nice. Or okay, never mind. She does. I lied.
How could you? Oh, I know.
I'm
It's your
sorry.
bird solidarity. You just wanted Kuro to eat more Oris, didn't you?
Yes.
Alright, you already admitted it, so me whispering admitted Shed like that seems a little stupider now.
And here's some
Alright, so
fish
we got
strats from Clean.
Fish Ritz and
No,
oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no, it's not dead yet! He's got this! Yes! Oh my god, what a recovery!
Try fish strats. That
It
was
didn't land in
wonderful.
the fire. That's definitely a way to end the run that probably doesn't feel as bad as it could.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's that is a great save from Cleanfel. And yeah, we're getting some hearts, some mouse movement hearts from him, and let's return the heart in chat. You're way ahead of me there. GG, we're getting some G's. Really nice. I'd like how articulate Clean is with the mouse. Like the spelling is just like it's really clear seeing what he's saying. Very clean communication, you could say, if you were a terrible person and made puns based on people's names.
Kirefel is headed in the direction of Glide. He's remembered the
Oh
pickup
my god.
assists. He's going up. No, he killed the Frankie.
Wow,
Wow, nice
get up that.
dash.
Yeah,
Very
charge
good.
dash. Charge.
Get it. Get it.
You
Get
need
the
to touch the
cell.
cell. Touch it. Touch it. Wait, why?
Hey!
Oh, Glide. He gets it. Yes.
You found it.
So, but like, he already has the charge jump tree.
Oh,
It's not
man.
obvious to him what like. So where does he go with this, right? Because like both
Oh
the
yeah,
skills
he
are in
still
sorrow.
doesn't have verticality. He didn't get grenade.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, maybe he uses this and goes to Forlorn because now he knows where that verticality is, or maybe he's like, okay, this was the one thing we didn't check. Let's go look at some of the stuff it unlocks. He is teleporting to Valley though, which could be I want to enter Sorrow from the bottom, or I lied. That's Grove. Okay, look. In my defense, he moused over Valley.
It's
Oh
almost
wait,
Valley.
no. He
Valley
needs to
adjacent?
get his wind. He never got wind.
Aha!
I
They remembered where that is. Nicely done.
Yeah. Very good. Now he's going to teleport. That I forgot. I remember seeing him without wind when he was doing a grotto revisit, and I wasn't sure if they didn't have wind. But then Clean was in a wind area. I was like, oh yeah, he must have never gotten that. But yeah, let's see where he takes his glide plus wind comp. He's down one Sunstone Shard, but knows there's one in Ginso. Oh, he's going into Misty. I don't think he
hasn't been to climb yet.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
One thing I've been noticing is that Kirefel seems less comfortable with some of the like trickier movement strats, so he probably didn't want to do Glideless Misty, which is fair, because Glideless Misty is, to use a technical term, hot garbage, and it is
Accurate.
hotter and more garbageful, to use even more technical terms, when you don't have, say, double jump or charge jump. But he has those. He's still checking pickups, which I actually don't remember how thorough Clean was, so this may or may not be getting them new info. But we'll see what his eventual path to the Ginso tree looks like. Whether or not he heads into Forlorn immediately after this, or decides to do something else.
It looks. I think Kyre has been to Misty before, because this is the sort of completed revisiting Misty state.
So he may have been here, but not all the way to the tree.
Yes, that sounds accurate. And perhaps just now realizing what the randomizer does if you enter Misty and then Altar.
Yeah, because it looked like he was trying to go right and then left and then right, but the
Which is, of
orientation,
course,
yeah.
It sets it up so to be the completed Misty and re-entering state, which is in-game, if you've never seen that before.
Yeah, and it makes sense that he made it that far but not further, because that room that we just saw him glide through, absolutely the most miserable part of like the rest is like tolerable, but that like double S-bend of spikes with the spitters, and spitters don't shoot for a while, like explicitly so that it can teach you about glided and air stalling in the vanilla game, because Misty is the glide tutorial. But if you don't have glide, what you are instead going to have the tutorial for is a bad time and lots of death, and how spikes can kill you.
In multitudinous ways. Looks like he's gonna continue in Misty now. I don't know if he has climb or not. Okay, maybe not. He's
all right. Yeah, he
not to
decides
do that.
against it. The right choice. Not that he would know. We'll see where he's teleporting to, and what he decides to do there. I'm guessing it's probably just going to be Valley into Forlorn. I lied. It is but you don't have the vertic. Okay.
Don't quite know where he's headed.
I mean, it's either this one-off or the Ginso tree take two.
I'm pretty sure Clean is aware of the dash strats to get through the second room of Ginso, so perhaps he's relaying that information to his teammate, trying to instruct him over voice chat in the ways of the verticality-less Ginso.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, I feel like the power play here would be to find an axe, chop the tree down, and then it's all horizontal, right?
Yeah.
And you've got dash, you got bash. You could just chop this tree down, and just, you know, that would definitely be better than this strat. Is all I'm saying.
Quick insight into sort of the runner's chatter here. In the SRL chat, Vulajin has posted, "I wanted to be the one to pulverize you guys into dust, not the randomizer. That's a distinct feels bad."
That is a distinct feels bad and a big mood.
Asymmetric.
Same. Alright, so we got this strat.
I'm not quite sure what Kirefel is trying to accomplish here. I'm not seeing exactly the well, I was gonna say intended strat, but it's not intended in any way.
It really isn't.
what you sort of need to do here, for those who haven't seen it yet, is okay, that's the right idea. But what you need to do is a dash glide, which is a pretty common technique. But you need to do it in a specific way that you get the ground to ramp you up higher than you're supposed to be. And there's just it's a very precise trick, and it's not easy. It's not particularly fun.
Did he just leave through the door and re-enter?
He did. I'm not sure why.
Resetting the dungeon RNG. So the thing is, when you've been walking around in a dungeon like this for long enough, the encounter rate, the random encounter rate in Ori goes on a step count, but it resets whenever you exit and leave a door. So he was probably doing that to make sure he wouldn't get another random encounter here. By which I mean, I have no idea what was going on. Maybe like something was hanging or like swinging via physics, and he wanted to reset it. You know, we'll have to ask, or it will actually maybe just forever remain a mystery.
And there is an Altar again, heading back out to search for something, anything. Please, God, Seed, give him something.
I mean,
we know where the things. We know where he knows where Grenade is. We know where the other two things are. Was that headed to Sorrow?
No, he mapped over it and then clicked Valley again.
Okay, I was closer to where the things are.
That is
he
closer.
Headed to Forlorn? He's going up.
He's going up. Yes.
Yes. Keep going.
All right, keep going.
And then head left, eventually.
Head left. I mean, either heading left at one point is fine, right? Like either double jump or charge jump will get him.
Yes. He needs one of the two. One's in left Sorrow, one's in the Dorito Cave.
Alright, he's taking the rocket jump up. Looks like he's going to go up to the Dorito
all the
Cave.
way up.
I mean, I hope he doesn't go all the way up. I don't think there's any skills left to be on the Sunstone.
Fine. Oh, that's a dead frog.
Okay.
Alright, we're heading left now.
Yeah, that's fine. This is all fine. He has lots of options for where there are skills here. If he does it this way, he'll get the Sunstone Shard.
True.
In the truck pointing that out for us, which is nice. It looks like he's gonna go through here, and if this frog doesn't die, which is gonna be great.
No, that's a dead frog.
That's actually not great. That's wrong.
That's the opposite of great. Oh, there's a death. Oh, that's the valley.
Oh. All right. Well, we're back here. All right. Let's look on the bright side. One, he knows where the Sunstone Shard is. Two, he has wind and glide, so he doesn't have to do Sorrow Bash. So that's nice. And then three, there's it's a one-horse race at this point. But yeah, actually, the real three is oof.
4 question mark 5 oof.
Yeah. Big oof, honestly. Alright, so, I mean, so the thing is that, like, he has enough keystones that frog dying is, like, annoying, but he could just walk around and enter that area and there's no way, and he can just climb. Nice!
I just realized he didn't have that yet.
I think he had it, but died.
Oh, the frog again! No!
You keep murdering all these poor frogs.
Alright, keep going. Don't kill the frog this time, Kyre, please.
I believe in you.
That's the correct direction.
That's incorrect. That's the wrong projectile.
There you go. There you go.
We got this. There we go. All right. Excellent. Now, don't forget the plant. It's hidden.
Up there.
Okay, yeah, he's going up. Good. Okay, good. And
hey, we found it.
We did, in fact, find it. All right. I like this because it means fellows got go mode with 2 completely different skills. I mean, I guess, like, grenade versus climb charge or glide charge jump is not, like, incredibly different, but do you think it is interesting? This is the first time I have seen that, like, in a doubles match, the 2 teams had completely different, or 2 members of the same team had different go mode conditions because they did not feel, or one player did not feel comfortable doing the strats that another did.
That's true. We definitely have some teams where I know that is true. There's some strats that one member is comfortable with, the other is not. But yeah, like you said, this is the first time we're seeing that sort of in action here.
Yeah, and it actually sort of presents an interesting problem because in terms of like overall, because like doubles is scored by average time, right?
Yes.
So there's sort of like a question of should Clean have done the final escape when he did? Like maybe they could have shaved more off their average time by having Clean dig a bit, maybe until they found Glide, or the skills that it would have taken for Kirefel to be in go mode. And
I don't know how much that exactly applies here because, of course, they knew and had seen that their opponents had finished already.
Well,
but
yeah.
Yes, that,
I mean,
it is certainly a consideration if you haven't seen that. Like, do you help your partner? Do you finish first to have your time be low to bring the average down? It's a tough call.
Yeah, I think it mostly depends on where you are in the scene. And I think the case where I could see a case for it is like if the partner who is in go mode has all of their trees and the person who doesn't feel like they are comfortable with the strat doesn't have all the trees, because then you can have the person who's in go mode do a search while the other person does tree cleanup, and then you're like losing less effective time that way.
Very true.
Yeah.
Future doubles team. Nope.
Or I mean, don't. It's not like the kind of thing.
Yeah.
Also, you might be an opponent of my team, and then I'd prefer if you didn't take them. So
it's fine.
It's okay.
There
the
we
real
go.
play
Kyrie
is I'm like
finally made it up to the bash tree. He is finally done. Huge relief for him, and we'll be heading to the Horu escape by way of the Swamp Teleporter.
by way of the Swamp Teleporter, indeed. And he has a much that's the Swamp Teleporter. There we go. He has what I would describe as a easier skill set for a final escape than Cleanfel's. Missing double jump. Unfortunately, that is the one skill that the fellows did not find.
He's also missing grenade. It's marked on the tracker since Cleanfel.
Oh yeah, right.
But so he doesn't have access to grenade jumps, but it's still not the most difficult escape in the world. I hope we don't see Kyre have any trouble with it.
Yeah, I mean, I can see a couple places where you might struggle a bit because you don't have double jump, but I don't think this will be very difficult for Kirefel to close out. And yeah, like sort of falls dangerously towards Insticle Lava before deciding to use his C dashes, and he gets his horror approach just fine. And now we are on to Door War. Let's see how many Door Warp attempts we are going to get. You got a prediction for me?
I have faith. It's number one.
Right.
Either that or he's never mind, it's zero.
Yeah.
It's zero. He's save dropping. Doesn't want to. All the way up to ultra defense.
I mean, hey, save dropping is one way to make sure that you're not going to forget to spend your ability points before you enter the final escape.
Very true. And ultra defense is, of course, nice in all situations.
Yeah. Except for ones where you want to die.
Like Ghost Storing.
Like Ghost Storing, yes.
Getting some help from Walbro here. There's the mini boss down.
Yeah.
And he can head down to the final escape itself.
He can indeed. Is he going to grab? Yes.
Extra air dash. Yep. Extra air dash. There it is.
Air dash. There was much rejoicing.
Yay.
Right, he is going to make his way up there and press X to listen to sign.
How do you know it's X? Maybe he's changed the bind.
Would the tooltip lie to me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, now I know. Wait, it doesn't actually update it for whatever you're binding it?
I don't know. In any case.
So what you're saying is you lied to me.
Well, someone's lying. I don't know who it is.
Yeah. Anyways, we're seeing Kirefel make quick work of this escape. He has got all of the skills he needs to get through this.
That's
Takes a bit
damage,
of fire
but
damage,
fine.
but it does
Got a lot
not
of
matter. He has 11 health. That is a lot of health. And he will be fine. He has charge jump, so he probably isn't. Oh, he's going for fish strats. All right. Hopefully this is not. Come on.
There it is.
There we go.
Get up there! Oh my gosh!
Okay. I thought it was
That
going to
was
do the
very
thing Buffin
close.
did with that corner
soft
soft
lock,
lock.
yeah.
Yeah, gets through. All right.
And there we go. The fellows are done with this horror of a seed, I will say. He will just need to be holding right through this final cutscene for his final time to finish for the fellows.
Yeah, and that will bring their combined time to out at 34. 2 and 6 is 10-5. Yeah, I'm a genius. Maybe a little above that actually, because of the second holding right section. But yeah, in that hour 35 range. And yeah, that will, as we already know, put them in the 1-2 bracket. Also, I'm being corrected by the truck at hour 30. I don't know where I got the extra. But yeah, that will wrap up this race.
GG to the fellows for sure for getting through that seed. Many hugs.
Yeah. All right, that is going to do it here for us tonight on Speed Gaming 2 and for the Ori Randomizer Tournament. Our next match is tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. There are a bunch of matches tomorrow, but that first one is going to be Team Duo Leaves versus Team Cockatrice, also known as my team versus Chicken and Gecko. And by my team, I mean me and Skull. But yeah, tune in for that. I will be there. Other people will also be.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching, everyone.
See you then.